heroes at the end of the day.
Well, we have PDHM in blue and eRa Eternity in orange. Again, I really can't go over how good a name that is for an esports org, eRa Eternity. Absolutely beautiful. Now, let's see how they play. Now, interestingly, PDHM didn't actually play in the first regional for South America. Then they came into the second one and took themselves 100 points. So a top 5 finish or so for these guys. So maybe coming into that one a little bit cold. Can they do even more as we venture forward into this major? They started off looking pretty comfortable, taking control. They seem very comfortable with the ball, you know, in front of them. Bit of a double commit there, but I'm liking the early signs from PDHM.
Now, Unbroken in the midfield goes up against Drafinio. Central, Sadness can send it away. What a name.
I know.
Sadness.
I know.
Because, hi, yeah, what's your name? Sadness. Oh. Imagine, I'd like for him to be a very happy person. That would be nice. The juxtaposition would make me pleased.
I might rename my username to just Pain.
Pain. Lowercase with a full stop on the end?
Sometimes the full stop, depending on how in pain I am at any given time. That gives me a little bit of leeway. Yeah,
it's like just incredible, that kind of thing. But the shot that is looking just incredible is from Leo Dickon.
Let's go with Leo. And a decent finish from him.
I sort of saw the name and then thought, that's longer than I anticipated. So Leo gets that first goal.
That was actually extra spicy as well, because Sadness, he was doing an in and out bump on the goal line on the defenders that were there. So yeah, PDHM, I'm all in for these guys. You know, I'm not even debating being PDHM-y. I'm thinking these guys look really clean so far. They're closing down eRa well. They're taking touches when the time is right. How are their reads on the backboard? Pretty good from Leo, and then a good save from Drafinio. Yeah, I am completely backing PDHM right now.
Long shot from Drafinio. Can't quite get the dunk on with Leo. On that left wall, Sadness, Central. Oh, God, good shot by Drafinio. Wells has to read that, does so. Unbroken just getting bumped around, and that is shot Central. Leo, you won't forget his name.
Hey, these guys are legit. Wells put it to the side, but there was Leo. Perfect first touch. Then the speed to get that second one when there was a player that was actually coming up from underneath the ball. Really, really clean. This is the highest standard of Rocket League that we've seen so far today, I would say. And it is because PDHM are taking the initiative and absolutely running with it. And poor old eRa Eternity really struggling to get into this one. Drafinio comes forward again, but then Sadness closes in ahead of him and gets the second touch. Who are these guys?
Yeah, these double taps going to be massive, but Unbroken shot on target. Saved away by Drafinio. Sadness again can boom it along. Most of his touches has just been sending it back up the other side of the pitch. Drafinio dunking it, keeps the pressure on for this PDHM blue side. Wells uses all of his boost to get it high. Unbroken does so as well. Gets bumped in the midfield. Just disruption play after disruption play, but again, just leaving it floating in the midfield it is symptomatic of South America.
Oh no, Leo and Drafinio, I think. Both of them expected the other one to go for it, but fair play to Subhalls. He did not fall at all for their charades and their hints at going for the ball. He just says, you know what, look, if you guys don't want the ball, I will go for it myself. And he gets an easy goal for eRa Eternity, and suddenly we might see a better version of them up against PDHM. Drafinio into the centre, closed down quickly, and then Subhalls towards Wells. Wells is touched a little bit loose, so Sadness comes in as a man to his left. Couldn't quite reach him because Subhalls did see that one coming, but they're trying to look for each other, PDHM as well. Leo comes in, tries to set up Sadness, who is all the way back into the centre, and this attack will end. So now I want to see eRa Eternity just play a little bit more confidently for the next 30 seconds or so. See if they can get that quick-fire 1-2 goal that will put them right back in it.
Good interception there, just to stop the shot coming in from Leo. Now Drafinio blocking it. Sent high by Subhalls. Nobody coming in to attack that until Leo has the initiative. Boost taken away by Wells means that any attack won't be able to continue for very long, as it does fall to Unbroken. Tries to send it above Sadness, does so, but Sadness can whip his car back round. Central, great pass, great shot, better save.
Drafinio's up and no one's with him, so he can take his time here. He does get the catch, closed down quickly by Subhalls. So we're just seeing the eRa Eternity are starting to learn how PDHM are starting to play this game with all these touches that they're doing. But even if you know what they're doing, when the connections are that good, it won't help you at all. But unfortunately, Sadness' shot just hits the post. What a goal that would have been.
It's a setup as well from Leo. Just airdrilling across everybody. Now Leo can fake out Unbroken.
Oh, that's so
good. Goes for the chip. and then for the player. Sadness can finish it, but that groundwork was laid by Leo.
Oh, what a play. The bump as well. I think it might have already been going in. Such was the quality of the fake and the bump there from Leo. That could have been his hat-trick, but Sadness did absolutely the right thing, making sure that his team went 3-1 into the lead with only a minute or so left. It's looking really good for PDHM. And eRa Eternity, they had a few seconds where they were starting to look like they could take control of this one, but other than that, they've been second best. They're trying to fix that now, but Drafinio's clearance towards Leo, who gets a pre-flip. This is amazing.
I think you wanted a bit more power on that, but the pre-flips have worked before.
Oh!
The 1, 2, 3.
What?
Using Leo as well, just as a man in the middle. No, sorry, Sadness. 1, 2, 3, over the top. Leo caught with his trousers down in net. Now only one goal separating.
What a pass that was. Okay, I'm in. I am fully into this series. I am so invested. Let's see if it carries on at this pace. Wells can take a touch here. See, that's where I want to see him have a little bit more composure. The ball was going to fall on his car. He could have taken control, flicked it, forced a 50-50, had his teammate go for a bump ahead of him. Instead, he sort of jumped to get the ball as quickly as possible when he didn't have to, which just meant that he lost all control of the ball. So if I had one critique of eRa Eternity in particular, it would be that. I think that comes down to communication as well. You know, if Wells had a call from his teammate saying, time, wait, he could have done so much more with that one. But there's still 15 seconds left. Unbroken is coming forward, needs another touch, but Sadness tackles him. Wells' hit is over and high into the centre. Stubbs one is then net quite easily. It's looking like they can't get that pass, but Adamo could open him up. Sub-holes. Wells is closed by Sadness. Unbroken has one more chance. But if Drafinio does what Drafinio needs to do, this could be game over right here, and it is. PDHM get the win, but eRa Eternity, they are improving as we went.
Started to grow back into that for sure. Looking like every now and then there were flashes either way. The main one being Wells at the end, who had the ball fall to him, had loads of time, and just hit it at the net quite easily. But more chances arriving to the feet of the eRa Eternity players. PDHM still looking very good, very dominant in that matchup. It was a 5-goal game, 3-2 in the end. I'd still back PDHM, however.
PDHM living up to their name and being a little bit indecisive with readying up. None of these three players had pressed the button, so they seem to be one that like to take their time in between games in the series, thinking, probably, definitely, maybe.
Oh, here we go.
I like the
Rolling
maybe
in
at the end. I like the maybe at the end, I think. I'm going to go back to that. If it was PDHMM, then I'd give you probably, definitely, but I think it's probably, definitely, maybe, probably. I think it's probably,
Definitely.
definitely.
Maybe. Probably. Definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe. Do you think that PDHM have got that same gameplay in them they had in game number 1 and can continue that through the series? Because I think a couple of the eRa Eternity goals did come down to scrappy play, and they weren't outplaying PDHM necessarily. It was more just a case of the ball fell to them in a lucky situation.
I would say that what I've seen so far in the opening of this series, PDHM play the highest standard of Rocket League that has been on this broadcast up to this point. The level of control they have over the ball seems to be a step up above not only eRa Eternity, but also Noble and No Mercy that we saw in the last series too. So if they can keep that up, then I am very excited for this team. I hope they can, but equally, I hope that eRa Eternity step up as well, and suddenly we'll be seeing an incredible series of Rocket Leagues. Wells comes in, gets the early lead for eRa Eternity, and this is exactly what I wanted to see.
Yeah, that pass central as well from Unbroken. Does get the pinch, also gets a dunk rather, and Wells can then come in. Halls was coming in very close, and I do worry that if a clear did come out, then it would have gone straight over the top of him, but it didn't come down to that as well. Shot was crossbar and down. So, good positioning for the ball, not so much for the player if you need a contingency plan, but good bumper for the backboard by Drafinio.
So like eRa Eternity realise they have to take some risks, if they don't, then PDHM are going to absolutely love the space that they offer them. It's the team that love to play the ball around, so they're trying to think, right, how quickly can we get to this ball, even if it's risky, and make sure they can't have the play, because you're seeing there with the wave dashes, of the dribbling, these guys just love having the ball under control. They can also aerial.
Oh!
That's a powerful strike from Drafinio.
Drafinio from that right-hand side sees it come off the ball, up nice and early, and can completely beat out Unbroken and the attacking player of Wells in the air. gets PDHM back even, and there was nothing indecisive about that shot.
Sadness is looking to come into this one, but instead it's Leo that is closest. Wells eventually does put it into the corner towards Sadness, and he and Trifino both go up together. I mean, it's a little bit risky double committing like that, but it seems that between them, they have the situation under control. Wells, we can't say the same about him, as that ball is just pumped into the center of his own penalty box. Eventually Unbroken comes away, into the post it goes. Trifino just wants to get a dribble. Look how quickly eRa Eternity are closing down these PDHM dribbles. It's something that I'm definitely learning about this region. They do adapt quickly. They learn how their opponents are playing, and they're not uncomfortable at all to switch up their playstyle if it's needed. We've seen it now in 2 series in a row.
God, that's so much aggression coming out as well. Chance to Sadness, send it on target. Does get beaten out though. Now Leo across towards Trifino, can go high, does go higher than the goal. The double commit and the double bump ends up being a team pinch that goes the entire way down the pitch.
All the way in, from one end to the other, Unbroken. Oh, he's brought Subhalls with him, but he won't care about that. All that matters to him is that the ball finds its way in the back of the net, and eRa Eternity return their lead. 2-1 up now. And are you detecting anything different about the way they're playing, or have they just improved their initial playstyle a little bit?
It seems like they're being a bit better when they have the ball fall to them, but at the same time, that's a bit of a lucky goal. There was a positioning too from PDHM to allow that goal to go in, but it wasn't an outplay. But that shot from Leo should have been at least on target. Doesn't manage to be. Still think PDHM on paper are the better team, but the ball is falling much nicer to the lads on the orange side.
You still make your own luck though. Leo comes in against Subhalls. Wells is the winner of the next race. Good composure from Sadness, that's what I want to see. Just waiting for the ball to land on him. Trifino into the centre, Sadness is up. How's his touch? Oh, it's a little bit loopy onto that sort of ramp into the at the top of the goal, which I think just fell down quite safely. You sort of really want to get some distance between the backboard and your hit when you're trying to flick it onto a teammate like that. And that double touch from Subhalls wasn't really particularly useful for his team. It looked fancy, and it was a nice read. But we do have all sorts of pressure from PDHM. Sadness over the top. In comes Trifino. Bundles it home. And it's 2-2.
What a pass from Sadness. There's the first. There's the second. There's the third. Nearly got the goal as well, but instead Trifino can bundle it bottom right. Brings PDHM back level. Good stuff.
Yeah. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this series a lot. Subhalls, another double tap as well. It's something that we didn't see too much, again, earlier on in No Mercy versus Noble. These quick fire double taps, you know, the forced pinches that get so much pressure, so much distance on the ball. Look at Leo go. He's got all the mechanics. He's also got a dunk against Unbroken. Oh, and for a second I thought that Wells' clearance was going to turn into a goal, but thankfully, I don't want to see another one go in like that. Trifino was back, and PDHM can launch their next wave of attack. Trifino's closing down Wells. But Wells wins that one cleanly, sending it all the way back. And for all the pressure that they're having, PDHM, they're not overcommitting too often. They've learned the lesson of the one goal that they conceded from that, and now they always seem to have a third man back, and they're defending their backboard well as well.
Trifino trying to go for that solo play. Does get the dunk, and then central. Wells though with enough boost to keep it high, and again, but does overextend, leaves the ball to drop to Sadness. Subhalls challenging him. Trifino left for the task of clearing this away. Takes it to the left corner. Got a little bit of boost spare. Sadness will come through. Now, over the top of Wells. Does manage to catch it and dribble it back round. Just a little bit slower play. Smaller, more deft touches coming out from both teams here.
And the eRa Eternity now under pressure. They've got a shooting chance as well. And Wells from the pass from Unbroken does what needs to be done and gives his team the lead.
It was Leo. Leo came in when I do not think he should have done. The ball was high and lofting. He was on the backboard in a good position, and there was Trifino coming back round on the side wall. Just wait. You don't need to get the clear there, and he has just cost PDHM the lead.
So maybe just signs that PDHM is starting to get a little bit nervous. Pressure completely ramped up. Both teams 1-1, remember, so a victory here just alleviates so much pressure. In the grand scheme of the Swiss, Sadness and Leo come forward. Sadness eventually pings it out towards Leo. Who has Trifino in the centre, wants to find him, goes for the demo instead of the pass. It was a nice idea, but Subhalls saw it coming all the way and got an all-important touch out wide. So now Drafinio's touched into the center. Wells and Sadness going up against it together. A proper vertical race there between the two of them. Eventually, all that happens, though, is Era Eternity can bring it out, and PDHM have to launch another attack with not much time remaining.
They're all very central hits out at the moment, and that has not helped, especially with Leo just flip-flopping on the ball. That'll be pinched wide, and Era Eternity take game number 2 in this best-of-5 series.
Wow, what a game that was, though. Fair play, Era Eternity. PDHM, I wouldn't say played any worse than they did in game number 1, especially Drafinio. What a performance he had. 2 goals and 823 points for his team. But he was, of course, on the losing side this time as Era Eternity got their first win. And I would say that Wells really stepped up for me. He had 6 shots, he had 2 goals and 6 shots, and he just seemed to be everywhere on the pitch as far as Era Eternity are concerned. I think he was the one who was most likely to slow the ball down, which is what we were begging Era Eternity to do. And as soon as they started to do that, PDHM looked a little bit shakier than they did in game 1.
Yeah, PDHM also had Drafinio sitting at the top of the scoreboard with twice as many points as Sadness in second place. Had over 800 in that match, 6 saves and 5 shots as well. Meanwhile, Leo at the bottom, 100 points. That's not enough. He didn't have any goals, assists or saves and only 2 shots to his name. I think Leo was weaker there and he gave up that final goal. Has to get back into a strong position like he was in game number 1.
Indeed. Well, we head into game 3, and I thought of something else that PDHM might stand for.
Go on.
Proudly defying Her Majesty.
Oh,
not
like
very...
America.
Yeah. It's a shout of independence, is PDHM.
You have just described the plot of Hamilton with that initialism as well. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Do you know any Hamilton songs that can work for a great pun to feed us neatly back into the game?
I bet PDHM are feeling a little bit helpless right now.
And now you have to rap.
My name's Philip. Okay, good. Oh. Yeah, I'd have to then.
No, you're all good, man. Thankfully for you, Wells saved the day. Another bump there from Subhalls. Took the goalkeeper completely out of the picture. And Wells gets a pretty easy finish to continue Era Eternity's momentum, giving the 1-0 lead.
And Subhalls pinches that back into the corner so Drafinio can pick it up. You get that central towards Leo. Does so, but intercepted by Unbroken, having a great game as well himself. Sanders with a 100 boost goes up into that top left corner. The double demo, but Unbroken can hold the back line. Now Drafinio works his way out, taken out by Wells. And again, these challenges coming in so strong for Era Eternity.
Oh, there's another bump in the air, though. Wells can't save it. Oh, it came to the third man. It was Subhalls who eventually got that block. Leo will continue the attack for PDHM. Sadness is underneath this one. Just needs to be cooled well. The communication needs to be high here, and it was. So Sadness did get his touch. Comes to Drafinio, and good communication as well then from Unbroken, calling off his teammate, saying he had a better clearance, and then being able to chase the ball down himself. Really nice play from both teams at the moment.
Leo he's missed again at the back. Nearly went well for him, but the ball does end up falling to Era Eternity. Shot on target, and all 3 players from PDHM can't keep that one out.
There's Unbroken. Yeah, they were all there. All
Did
of
Leo
them.
tap it in?
Oh, it's such a good finish in the end, though. I mean,
Leo
Unbroken.
own-goaled it.
It was an own goal.
Again.
I know it was an own goal, but I refuse to accept that it was an own goal. Maybe it really was, but I'm saying that this goal belonged truly to Unbroken with the quality of finish that he had. Down the other end, Subhalls, his teammate, calling to a great save, and nothing is working for PDMH right now.
Or PDHM.
Or them, any of them, any of the PDs,
Any
really.
of them. Any variation of that initialism, it's just not working. HMPD, though, game of their lives. Game of their lives.
Hopefully it will change. Drafinio into the corner. Wells beats it away, but it's just pressure time after time from PDHM until eventually Era Eternity come out. And to be fair, I'd say that PDHM are having a lot of pressure this game, but Era Eternity are defending really well. Look at that positioning again.
Very basic shots coming in from Drafinio a couple of times, where there was one earlier where he definitely could have put it in and just slowly hit it towards the net. Right there again, there was Unbroken sitting in the middle, and the ball finds him from Drafinio's shot. I'd like to see his time being taken more. The pass, though, coming out from Drafinio over towards Leo, doesn't go in. Unbroken again with the save. Unbroken having a very good series.
Yeah, slows this one down. Let's just get it away with as much space as possible, going for that ceiling pinch. He couldn't quite make it, but either Sadness or Leo could have come in there.
Go on, lads, let's go for it.
Yeah, exactly. All of them sort of fancy it, and they're all near to it, which is meaning that eRa Eternity don't really know who to close down. If a shot comes in now, this could be dangerous. But Subhalls closes it down well. It's a good touch from Drafinio, looking for Sadness. But every time I'm saying it's a good touch from PDHM, eRa Eternity are getting the read on it, making it really tough. They need a dump. They need something special. Not going to happen on this occasion. The shot is too wide. Oh, he's got to put that one into the top corner. And another chance goes begging for PDHM.
Sadness left on his own at the back there, wanted to go for the shot as he saw that Wells had missed. But just couldn't quite come back in. And Trino, chance for the double, does get it! Over the top of one, under the next, and into the net.
He is their best goal scorer at the moment for PDHM. The double tap and the pass from Sadness as well. One thing this region is definitely showing is that they are more than capable of some beautiful double taps, and that was another great example there from Drafinio to bring PDHM back into this third game. Now, a minute and 40 seconds left. There's been a lot of pressure from them recently. Do you back them to score the next goal in the next minute and a half or so?
There has been a lot of pressure, but it's not been very convincing. As Subhalls gets a shot on there as well, saved away by Sadness, and I think that's what they are being pushed back into. They're getting some good saves, just a couple of times being let down there by a teammate who's not quite calling who is going, compared to the communication that's happening on eRa Eternity. I'm impressed that it's not been more goals, quite frankly, for eRa Eternity.
Well, Drafinio's coming forward to try and prove Stumpy Goblin wrong and make him silly. Leo's putting it into the centre. Sadness is already up. Lots of pre-jumps for PDHM, but good reading again from Subhalls. Close down that one into the corner, but every touch they're making eRa Eternity is just leading to another chance for PDHM. They have to do better with these clearances. They have to actually put it into a place where their teammates want it. Again, it's loose into the corner. It's a decent distance. Oh, do you know what? Do you know what, mate? I take it all back. Just keep booming it. Eventually, you'll get a free goal.
Oh, that is a shocker, Drafinio. Thought he caught it, and Subhalls called his bluff. The third goal for eRa Eternity coming off a gigantic miss from Drafinio. Before it was Leo missing, who's cost him the game. And Drafinio wants to get his name on that sheet as well.
Drafinio is slowing this one down, but Wells is coming in, and now eRa Eternity, they can just soak up as much pressure as they need to. Because PDHM, they need a couple of goals and not long at all. It won't be easy for them, and as these demos fly in, I mean, they're good, but it's changing nothing. Good work from Leo. And the next one isn't good enough. And PDHM, I'm disappointed in their performance this game. The fact that the third goal that eRa Eternity scored was such a freebie. You know, that's what's shifting me from praising eRa Eternity's defense to being frustrated with PDHM, because at the very least they should have a chance of getting a 0-second goal here and equalising. The fact that they're 2 goals down in a game that they had so much dominance in is really frustrating.
I think you can clearly pick out the issues in each match as well, because Drafinio, top of the scoreboard, did well throughout the game, but also I don't know if his positioning was as good as I would have liked for a majority of it. Leo having yet another quiet game. I've not been impressed by him throughout this entire series. eRa Eternity seem to have every man coming in on the conveyor belt of shark's teeth. But PDHM not...
Stop saying
what?
that. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. A conveyor belt of shark's teeth is not a thing that you can just use as a phrase, like it exists.
Oh, sharks don't have teeth.
They don't have conveyor belts.
They have conveyor belt teeth.
Fair enough. Carry on what you were saying.
Thank you very much. I've got a degree in science. So yeah, I think eRa Eternity, they've been the more impressive team. I thought PDHM would do better on paper, and they just haven't. A few final misses and a few nerves, I think, getting to the lads on that roster, because I don't trust that a lot of the hits they're getting are going to be confident hits.
Well, it's been a minute or so. I've had my chance to grieve. I've lost my frustrations, and now I'm prepared to say that eRa Eternity defended really incredibly well in that third game. The amount of chances that PDHM had, I kept thinking that any second they were going to score a goal, and they were, the second goal they needed to equalise, and it was going to be a PDHM game. But eRa Eternity, they closed down these infield passes really well. They read the solo plays, and they defended their backboard, which was just frustrating PDHM, which led to them sort of eventually making that mistake, I think. And so, as we go in to game number 4. PDHM is going to stand for something different this game. You ready?
Go on.
It's a guitar player that prefers using his fingers, and he's saying, "Plectrums don't help me."
I thought it would be related to the game. Much like your Hamilton one was.
Thought proudly defying the monarch was game related.
I think it could have been, yeah, absolutely. But
Okay, all right, then how about this? Pre-jumps don't hinder me. The teammates
There
saying,
we
"Stop
go.
pre-jumping all over the place." And they're like, "No, do you know what? I'm fine with them."
no, I like that. I like that a lot.
Cool,
And hopefully
go on.
we'll see a few pre-jumps come out in this match because PDHM needs something, otherwise they are going to be going down. Not out, but they'll be down. Now Wells clearing from his own third. Sends it long, can be caught by Drafinio, but he does miss.
Oh,
Yet another issue. Sadness sends long, saved away by Subhalls. And a great pass towards Leo from Drafinio.
yeah, decent defending. Sanders comes forward again, though. I think he got a little nick off his teammate there, which sent him into the air, off someone at least. It might have been an opponent. But one way or another, PDHM's player had to readjust in mid-air. And eRa Eternity doing their best to defend for as long as possible. They've done that very well indeed for now, yet again. Keeping this one at 0-0 is a big achievement for them, the way this fourth game has gone. Sanders out to Drafinio. Leo shoots, but it's just above the goal. And then Wells completes the clearance, sending PDHM all the way back yet again.
I'll bounce central, but Sadness can get in the way of it. Yet more pressure will build. Drafinio off the goal line. Wells now with 0 boost, who will have to retreat and let Unbroken in. There is Unbroken, and there is the goal.
He was up so quickly for it as well. Look at this. Subhal's got the pass. I thought it was a ceiling pinch. It wasn't quite. It was just a nice, clean touch. And then Unbroken beats his defender. And if you do that, you got a chance, especially when the shot is that good indeed. And eRa Eternity, by this point, are looking like the better team because PDHM just seem a little bit out of ideas. The passing plays aren't working anymore. The fancy pants, the schmancy old solo plays have no end product. eRa Eternity, they're defending a little bit more deeply than I think they normally would. And it just seems to be working.
Now with 2 minutes gone, another goal wanting to come out as Subhalls nearly pinches that central. Unbroken though, 70 boost, but does get caught out by Sadness. As 2 commit in, but Wells so proactive and just wants to get in those awkward positions. I thought would pass it earlier, and I think the defenders did as well because he got so much ground with that dribble.
Oh, that's a good touch from Subhalls in a risky place. Oh, it's a little bit awkward though. Drafinio's coming in. And PDHM so close yet again to getting their goal. Can't quite do it. Sanders is up, called off it by Drafinio. Good decision. Leo's underneath this one, goes for the bump. Wells has missed it. Does Sanders have the boost still? He does! And he sneaks it in. He used every single thing of boost that he had, but he managed to get the goal. Good bumping from Leo as well.
Manages to sneak it bottom corner, sees that Wells is high, didn't know Unbroken was coming in, but got it in a good position. Maybe that could be the lifeline that PDHM need. Equal now, but over 2 minutes remaining, and it's still looking like eRa Eternity are slightly stronger.
Unbroken onto the backboard he goes, cleared by Sadness. Drafinio on the right side now, pinched into the centre where Unbroken is waiting. Picks up 100 boost, and he does have a chance for a solo play of his own. Haven't seen too many of these from eRa Eternity. Maybe not their best asset, a more team play. More a solid defensive unit, I would say, these guys. Drafinio, on the other hand, can certainly force something himself. It's a flip reset that he gets. Finds his way towards Leo. Infield pass towards Sadness. Onto the backboard. Wells gets a touch, though. Wells tracked that one so well. And he can dribble away.
That first shot should never have hit the backboard. It was such a nice pass in. And the fact that Sadness sends it just too high thwarted the play much earlier than he wanted it to.
Sadness can get a chance to do something himself, but it's out wide towards Drafinio. Now eventually Sadness does put it into the corner, or he can follow that one. But Wells is clearing lots of big booming touches now from both these teams. I think the pressure has been ratcheted up in recent times, so nobody wants to make a mistake, which is understandable. That could be one, though. Oh my goodness. You know, it's almost a dunk slash shot slash whatever else it would have been that worked out for PDHM.
So much pressure for PDHM here.
Oh, almost a counter, though, from Subhalls. Counter-attacking gameplay is really good for eRa Eternity, so don't be too worried if you are an eRa Eternity fan. Out wide towards Wells. Picks up that 100 boost. Fakes out Drafinio. Still faking out. Great composure from him. Good discipline. Then the clearance between Leo and Drafinio. Gets it all the way back. Pressure more of it for PDHM. Sadness into the corner. They just can't quite get that defining pass, can they? It's not quite falling for them when it matters.
Most avenues of passing are just being shut down as well. But there's been so much pressure for PDHM. A brief respite earlier on as eRa Eternity got some pressure. But now Wells needs to get something going. Final 5 seconds. Drafinio on the left. Sends it central.
Ooh.
The touch does not come in for Unbroken. That will roll into not quite overtime. Subhulls keeps it high. Unbroken is there. Goes for one. Not
So
the
dangerous.
second. Wells high again. No boost Sadness on that backboard. It stays up. Drafinio desperately wants that to hit the ground. It does so overtime.
That was a real chance there for Eternity, but they're going to have to wash any thoughts of winning it before OT away and do what has to be done now. One more goal. We'll see them go 2-1 in the Swiss, but if they concede it, then we have a game 5, which I'm sure is what everybody is hoping for right now. But Unbroken gets a touch. Subhulls is there. Drafinio's got it, I think. Yes, he has. We're kind of 5.
Leo gets that pinch in the end. Oh, no, wait, no. That was the shot there. So Unbroken. Drafinio bumps the defender, and the pull shot goal credited to Leo. PDHM take us to 5.
Wow. I didn't expect a pull shot. You know, expect the unexpected with this region.
South America, baby.
Yeah, I'm loving it. All right, then. Cool. Right. Game 5, then. PDHM, I honestly thought they were out of ideas. I'd lost faith in them. After calling them the best team that we've seen so far, 30 seconds into game 1, I was starting to think that they'd run their race and the eRa Eternity were just going to grind them out. But fair play to PDHM. They kept on fighting. They did what had to be done. You know, as soon as the ball goes back, they don't get too frustrated. They just think, okay, we'll go again. And eventually, you know, we'll call it lucky. We'll say it was a fortunate pull shot. But when you have that many chances, that many shots, you create your own luck. And eventually it works out for you.
I think throughout that game, eRa Eternity did look stronger, but they only had like 3 shots, I think, in the end. Just not having the pressure in that final third. A lot of pressure in the midfield coming in from PDHM to keep them held back. And even in that back third, PDHM were being very strong and putting shots on the net consistently. Lots of bumps, lots of demos. And this game 5 will be deciding who goes up into 2-1 and who goes down into 1 and 2.
Who's your money on?
I'm going to go with eRa Eternity. I think they've just looked stronger going through the last part of this series.
Okay. I still think PDHM, they've got their fight back. I think that spark to return. And they'll be scoring all sorts of goals against eRa Eternity defense. It's going to be the first one. Oh, he's hit the post! Agonizingly over the front of the goal. But no early start for PDHM.
That could have been the start that they needed. Sadness, mechanically impressive, keeping the ball central. Drafinio redirects it. Not quite in. Sadness now on target. Bangs Unbroken. Drafinio chance. Can't get the double. And Unbroken remains unbroken in the net.
Yeah, PDHM, who this game, their team name stands for practicing these hilarious misses. Because they've been hitting the post and they should be scoring. But they haven't missed that one, which isn't hilarious at all. So they've been practicing these hilarious misses, and now they've scored what could have been a hilarious miss had they not been practicing.
I love Leo going for that air dribble, realises he is right in the way of Sadness' shot, and just flips out the way. Like, nope, I do not want any part of this. Because PDHM now taking the lead and having a lot of pressure to get there as well.
Yeah, such a scrap that they've put in. Were you not a fan of the latest team name? You didn't really respond to it.
I didn't think there'd be a questionnaire afterwards. It was, I liked it. It was good. And I didn't like how these was D's. That's what I wasn't keen on.
No. Okay. Well, fair enough. Well, it's 2-0 now to Leo, and I'm sure he's not offended either that you don't like his team name. I think it's quite good. Fair play to them. They've made it this far, and I think that you should respect what they choose to refer to themselves
Rejecting
as.
young Cool Cole.
Just practicing these horrific misses is what they've actually changed it to. Yeah, they've tweaked it.
Interesting.
Unbroken goes forward. His team now 2 goals down. Wells in the corner with Leo. He's trying to tackle him, but Leo stands tall. There could have been a pass there, I think, from Subhalls. I think they're looking a little bit snappy with these touches in a bad way, just snatching at the chances that they're getting. And that's good composure again from Jaffinio. His touch wasn't the best, but he was just desperately trying to escape Unbroken. And he wins! Jaffinio beats Unbroken, but on the other end, oh, what a save from Sadness! Oh, and Subhalls comes in so late.
Oh my, that was such a chance. Unbroken missing at the other end. And then it goes over Jaffinio as well. 2 players on the backboard. Just a few misses at either side. It keeps us at just a 2-0 lead for PDHM.
It's all getting a little bit scrappy, but PDHM won't care too much as long as their opponent's goal tally remains a big old circle. That's a good pass though towards Unbroken. Can he get this one into the centre?
Yep.
Quite able to, because Sadness closes him down, and then Jaffinio takes out Subhalls, and it's Wells' turn now. A double commit from Leo and Sadness. Thankfully for them, Jaffinio was the only player who reacted to it, and it's Jaffinio now that has this solo play. Wants to get another flip reset, gets it towards Sadness, but Wells had the read. I thought that was going to be a goal. This is end-to-end stuff. Either there's going to be a goal in the next 30 seconds or so for either team.
It's looking like pressure just can't remain on either side at all. Sadness to Leo. Catches. Will go low with the breezy flick as well.
Oh, that is sublime from an infield pass. The pressure was going to tell for one of them. I didn't think it would be that beautiful, though. That is stunning from Leo. 2 goalkeepers, who cares? Breezy, thank you very much for teaching me.
PDHM now 3 goals clear. I believe the biggest lead we've had so far in this series. So looking to potentially be winning this series, but still 2 minutes left. Sadness, though, on target, helped along by the defender, and that's 4.
There's Sadness just waiting for that one. Showing all the composure and then the speed again. They wait, and then they strike to PDHM, and they are running away with this game number 5. This is how game 1 felt. It was only a 3-2 victory for PDHM, but the gap in quality seems to be to this extent, and even in defence, they're defending a lot better now. Jaffinio clearing that one away well, and then getting the next, and what a connection that was.
Yeah, sending it all the way back for Unbroken, who does get the pinch central, but nobody there to catch it. First team, Leo up once, can get the flip reset, that's 1.
What?
And then the tap behind. Leo, he has got skills to match this current result. He was not performing earlier, and he is now showing us what he can do.
They're pre-jumping, Sadness is already in the air. They are absolutely loving.
Do you think they think they've won?
I think they do think they've won, yeah. I think they're feeling pretty confident right now. Let's see what they're going for now. Styling on poor old eRa Eternity. I mean, I would say that even when eRa Eternity were starting to get on top, the skill ceiling always looked higher for PDHM, and now they're just showing how much skill they have in the tank.
Leo for that entire time was just, quite frankly, messing about. Sadness, though, with the double tap. Can't quite finish it off himself, but Jaffinio will come in and get a needlessly good finish right up high. 1 minute left, it's 5 goals clear. I cannot see eRa Eternity coming back to win this one.
If eRa Eternity come back to win this one, I will accept that my team names for PDHM haven't been that good.
Well, I've not actually submitted any of my own, to be fair.
Go on then, what have you got in mind?
Pasta. That's hungry, mummy. Just over 30 seconds left in this final game. There's no boost for Leo. Tries to get something going. You didn't react to my last one. What did you think?
I'm a bit curious about the context. Are you telling your mum that you're hungry, or are you telling your mum about some pasta that is hungry? Like, pasta that's hungry, mummy. Would you believe it?
I'm hungry for pasta.
Okay.
I'm saying that to my birth mother.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Just in case you're wondering.
I think
you'll give me that one. Interesting.
Yeah, because I'm a kind and honourable man, and yet you still won't give me.
Because yours is rubbish. That's the problem.
Practicing these hilarious misses.
Pasta, that's hungry, mummy. Has just managed to take that 5th game. The most convincing win we have had all series as well. Ended up going to 5 when it really didn't look that way earlier on. PDHM having a great start to the series and getting a soft reverse sweep back. I think, is that a spaceman sweep where it's you win the first and then you lose the next two?
No, a spaceman sweep is where you lose the first and then you win the next three because you've learned what your opponents are going to be doing. So it did look
That
for a
was it,
time
yeah.
like Era Eternity were going to be able to spaceman sweep, proudly defying Her Majesty. But it just, wasn't to be. PDHM, they fight too long. They don't like plectrums, or plectrums don't help them, should I say? Plectrums doesn't work if you say them. Plectrums don't help me is one of their team names. As well. I'm just rallying through them, mate. Rallying through them, the PDHM.
What was my final one, if you can remember that one?
Pasta. Darn hungry, mummy.
No.
It's better than yours. I made it better. I improved it. I
don't think you can improve what's already perfection.
I improved it. Pastafection. Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna have shotgun. I've called it. Thank you, everybody. I've shotgunned it. Everyone, thank you for watching this wonderful series. Let us know what you thought about it, or any other PDHM puns or initialisms on Twitter using hashtag RLCS and @RL Esports. I want to hear F. have to read dozens of these things, and he's just sick of them. He's just going, planes, dip, Marjorie's harness.
No, that's the wrong order. It's PDHM. Surely it'd be planes don't help, mummy.
You need to move on from mummy. Everybody,
I really do.
Thank you for watching. Be back in a few minutes for more South American Rocket League.